Thanks for tuning in for another D6 Pack video. Today I'm going to be going over the game of Bosk by Floodgate Games. And this is one that Adrienne and I just recently picked up at Origins 2019. And we are going to be playing this one live on Twitch June 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about this game, please tune in for that and join us there. We'll also maybe be talking about some of the things we experienced at Origins, so if you're interested in that, join us as well. But to give you a little bit of background on the game, in Bosk, players take on the role of different tree species thriving within a national park. The game takes place over the course of a year, with summer and winter being scoring phases, and spring and fall being action phases. So with that, let me switch my cameras and give you a little bit more of a description on how the game plays. So there's not a lot to the setup of Bosk. This is pretty much it. This is a wind track which will not come into play until the fall. You have the scoring board. Each player puts one of their leaves there. And then the game comes with these nice boxes which hold all of your cardboard trees in it. Each player gets their own supply in their color, and you're ready to begin the game. I will note that this board is actually double-sided. So for a 3 and 4 player game, you use this side. 3 players, the white boundary is the border. 4 players, you go all the way to the outside. And then on the opposite side is the 2-player board, which is what Adrienne and I will be using for Twitch, so that's what I'm going to show you here. Now, in the spring, the first thing players are going to do is take turns placing out their trees. Each of these lines that are on the board is considered a path, and if it goes through the water, that's fine. But you are going to be planting your trees at the intersection of those paths. Players will take turn planting these trees until all of the trees are out on the board. At that point, let me throw out some trees just for an example here. Let's see, 2, put some purple over here, and maybe here. Yeah, okay. So this will work for an example. So the hiker is also the first player marker, but they're going to walk around the board in order to help you score each of these paths. So this path, there are no trees, so no one scores anything for that. This path, because purple is alone here, they will get 3 points. Here, purple has 1, so they will get 2 points, and orange will get 1. No one. Orange is alone, so they'll get 3. Here there is a tie, so each player would get 1 point. No one. No one. Purple's alone, so they'd get 3. No one. Orange is alone, they'd get 3. No one. Purple would get 2. Orange would get 1. And finally, there's no one in that row either. So that would be the scoring for the summer. And whoever has the fewest points at the end of that will be the first player in the fall phase. Going into the fall phase, whoever is the first player gets to decide which side of the board the wind track will start on. That will determine which direction the first trees are going to have their leaves blown off. So there is a tiny little arrow marker which is going to mark which round of the fall we're in. And in the first 4 rounds of the fall, there are specific trees. The number of the tree is marked on the tree there, which are specific to what will have to be activated that round. So for the first round, one of your 1 trees, you have 2 of each number, will have to have its leaves blown to this side of the camera. And the player who is the first player will choose one of their leaves. You have numbers 2 through 8 and then a squirrel. I'll come back to the squirrel in a minute. But the player will choose which of their leaves they want to activate. You can only activate each one once, and then they will pick up that many leaves, and going from whichever tree they've activated, they will choose one of the two sides of the tree to place their first leaf, and then from there, as long as the next leaf is in the next column over, they can continue spreading leaves as long as they are at least diagonally attached. So it could go something like this, or over here. So if you had played 4, that would be your entire turn. If in the next round, now purple would normally play their 1 as well, but just to give you an example of how play might proceed, if purple plays their 7 on their 2 tree, and they want to take control of my area, they will take their 7 leaves and maybe start out here, and they'll just keep going this direction. And then now they want to start trying to take control of these territories away from me. So in order to cover up one of my leaves, they discard one of the 7 leaves that they chose to play back to the supply. And they can do that for as many times as they want. Each leaf in the stack that they are covering costs them another leaf. So in this case, they had covered 2 of my leaves, so they would be down to 5 leaves at this point. So their 5th one they might just throw down there. Now the last thing I need to explain as far as the fall phase goes is the squirrel. The squirrel is a little bit unique in that he can't be covered up. So if orange were to activate their 3, they can place their squirrel anywhere within 3 tiles of that tree. So if I'm going from the 3, I might go 1, 2, I could go 3, but I really want to take back control of this stack, so I'm going to just leave my squirrel there. And that can be diagonally or orthogonally, as long as it's within 3 of that tree. That the squirrels here are promo squirrels. There are squirrels that come with the regular game, but they are unpainted and they're a little bit smaller, but they're still pretty cute. And that's what'll come with the retail copy. The painted ones were a Origins promo. I should also say that once you've scored a tree, you are supposed to remove it from the board. So in this example, these trees would have been removed by now. Once all of the trees have been removed from the board, we're going to look at each colored territory and determine who has control of that. This is the winter. So in the winter, each player will score 5 points if they have the majority control of an area, and 2 points if they are the second highest majority within that area. Once all of the territories have been scored, whoever has the most points wins the game. So I haven't played Bosk a lot, which might show in my explanation of the rules, but I think that I've given you enough of an understanding on how to play the game that you'll at least be able to join in and kind of get a better understanding of the game as Adrienne and I play this one on Twitch tomorrow night. So please join us for that. But I do feel like I have played the game enough to know that this is something I'm going to enjoy. I got a sneak peek of this one at Origins last year, and I fell in love with the game immediately. It was still in a very rough prototype shape at that point, so it didn't have all these pretty trees and nice leaf figurines and the neat little squirrels that come with it. But the game is very fast. It's fun to play. There's a little bit of variety in how you're playing the different seasons. It's fairly easy to explain, so I really enjoy this one, and I think this is one that's going to see the table quite a bit. So Hopefully you will join us as we play this one on Twitch tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And with that, thanks for watching. Bye.